Hey guys, I'm Moses the Rest, and I will now talk about my second favorite animation era, the Renaissance Age of Animation. The previous Dark Age was plagued with poor creativity and poor animation at that, but Disney comes from down below and brings animation back to a point of artistic respect by releasing some successful animated shows. I am pretty sure one of them was DuckTales. I haven't actually watched the show, but it has a pretty cool theme song with animation that is far better than any show I've seen in the Dark Age.
Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales.
Disney had a lot to do with the Renaissance Age, especially the Disney Afternoon. I won't go too in depth with it, but I will just show the intro to sum things up.
And come on in, here's where the fun begins. There's so much to do, getting ready just for you. Everybody's busy, bringing you a Disney afternoon. Hey, can you feel the buzz? Well, you're gonna feel the buzz because everybody's busy, just a little Disney, bringing you a Disney afternoon.
I will also briefly talk about the Disney Renaissance that had movies such as Beauty and the Beast, which was pretty popular, The Lion King, which is one of my favorites, and The Little Mermaid, which is also pretty cool. I just need to talk about the Disney Renaissance because I count it as part of this era. A show that I actually did watch that was released in the Renaissance Age was Steven Spielberg's Tiny Toons Adventures.
We're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony. And in this cartoony, we're invading your TV.
And of course, I can't really talk about that show and Steven Spielberg without talking about one of my favorite Renaissance Age shows, Animaniacs.
It's time for Animaniacs, and we're zany to the max. So just sit back and relax, you'll laugh when you collapse. We're Animaniacs.
What I could say about that show has already been said before, so I will move on. Nickelodeon also started making cartoons in this era, and they were good back then. Believe me, they were good back then. The cartoon they made was Doug, and it was released in 1991. It was about a character named Doug Funny, and that was really as funny as that show got. Another cartoon they released on that same day was the ever-lovable Rugrats, that I am pretty sure anybody who wasn't born just a few hours ago has watched at one point in their lives. Then there was the show that liked to jump through the censors, the Ren and Stimpy show. I love that show a lot. The only thing that was wrong with it was the fact that it started the gross out trend that no show did as good as Ren and Stimpy, at least none that I could remember. The last Nicktoon I'm going to mention is one of my favorites, and that's Hey Arnold. This show was just awesome. It was just great. However, Helga's love for Arnold was kinda creepy.
Who else do you think has been stalking you night and day, building shrines to you in a closet, filling volumes of books with poems about you? I love you, Arnold. I've always loved you ever since I first laid eyes on your stupid football head.
One show that I absolutely needed to put here was The Simpsons. Sadly, I can't put any footage here because The Simpsons is owned by Fox and they are just jerks when it comes to copyright. Anyway, The Simpsons was pretty awesome before it started to suck. Then there was South Park, which was also pretty great. Not going to say much about that. Although I already wrapped up the Disney Renaissance, I will mention them next as I will talk about computer-generated imagery, better known as CGI. CGI began in the Renaissance Age, and one of the first, if not the first, fully CGI film was Toy Story 3. And it was made by the new kid in the town, Pixar, owned by Disney. This movie was great. I love it, and the CGI is still good even 20 years after its original release. I still prefer traditional animation, however. In this Ages of Animation series, I wanted to focus mainly on American animation, but I needed to talk about anime. I love anime a lot, and it most likely got its way into the United States in the Renaissance age. Once again, I won't go in depth. One of my favorite animes, Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon, came on in this era. Also, before I forget, Cartoon Network came on in this era. The Powerpuff Girls was a good show, and so is Ed, and Eddie, even though it came at the end of this era. Sorry, I'm repeating era a lot. There are of course other shows that came on, but I will just wrap things up. I love the Renaissance Age a lot. It is my second favorite age of animation, second to the Golden Age. It was when animation rose up from the ashes of the Dark Age and became respectable again, solving all the problems of the Dark Age. The Renaissance Age ended with the start of the new millennium in the year 2000. Now we start the era that we currently live in, the Millennium Age of American animation. We will cover this in the next video. Peace guys, I am Mozart the Best, and come back next time as we cover the Millennium Age of animation. It will come out hopefully before the following week.
That's all, folks.